body, baby, show me.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all having a great day. So I ran out of video ideas for the week again, but well, besides this one that we're about to do. So pretty much, we had a lot of great videos this week. I mean, we had the reacting to my old videos. If you guys haven't seen that, that was a really fun video. Pretty much I made fun of myself in my old videos, so if you like to see that kind of stuff, go check that out. We also had the Equinox review on Wednesday. Pretty much that was a very spur-of-the-moment video. My mom had been talking about before reviewing her car and even reviewing the van when we had that. But I didn't want to drive. I didn't want to be seen in the van because, I mean, he wants to see a 19, 18, 19, 20-year-old man in a minivan. That's kind of pretty uncool. And plus, I really didn't find the van that interesting of a car to review. And I guess the Equinox in the same vein would be in there. But I thought it'd be cool to talk about how a crossover like the Equinox could win over a full-fledged car enthusiast like myself. But today's video is different. This was a video idea that we had for our live stream. We may still do this on a live stream eventually, but I'm going to do a video on it just to talk about it now. And then me and Hayden and Mike will probably do it on a live stream here in the near future as well, because obviously this will be different. But we're on Reddit today. No, I'm not becoming a Reddit YouTuber. You will not see like r/Tinder or anything on here. This is just pretty much a one-off video for Reddit. We're going to be going over the r/projectcar posts. I'm going to be reacting to some of these cars on here and telling you guys what I like. Pretty much you aren't going to see any hate. Obviously, if I find a car that I don't like or don't agree with how it's been done, I won't say so. Either that or cut the car out altogether in editing. So this is going to be a fun video to edit. But anyway, guys, I'm going to switch over the overlay to the proper one to go over this stuff. And we will actually get started with the actual video. So yeah, r/project cars. Let's see what we got on here. Alright, so now we're on the subreddit. Again, disclaimer, I'm not running Windows 7 or Vista. This is actually Windows 10. It's just got a skin to look like 7 or Vista, because I really don't like how 10 looks. But anyway, this is r/project car. This is where you'll find all sorts of project car stuff on Reddit. I actually just recently joined Reddit as a whole. So this was one of the first ones I joined. So let's see what we got. So we got a 306 small block Maverick. So I don't know a whole lot about the Maverick. I'm really not too crazy about classics. I know about the C2 and I know about the 64 Mustang and stuff like that. But the Maverick's one of those cars I'm not entirely familiar with. But that motor definitely looks clean, especially because it looks like this may have been before, like a before picture, and this is an after picture. This looks a whole lot better. So we'll pull up the like the full photo here. Yeah, it looks a whole lot better than it did. It looks like this was probably when he first got the car. That new radiator looks great too. I really like the finish on that radiator. So it's a 306, so that's kind of cool. I don't know exactly what that is in liters. I'm not too great on that conversion, but it looks really cool. I like it. I'm a fan. So now we've got a 96 Toyota T100. I'm actually not too familiar with these trucks either. These older Toyota trucks. I know about the Hilux, but I don't really know a lot about the T100. There were kids at school that had the T100 when I was in high school. I think it was like 2 people, but they were running around with the T100s. I don't know if they were like the Tundra or the Tacoma before. I'm pretty sure they were like a Tacoma, but I guess I'm not too crazy. I'm not too crazy, but not too familiar with the T100. Picked up the 600Z last night, so obviously it's a 350, but it's in the comments of this post actually. He just called it the 600Z here. It's got a LQ4 motor out of a truck, so it's a 6.0 Vortec inside that 350, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty much made the only aspect about the 350Z I don't like good, and that's the motor. I really don't like the motor. So anything like 2J swaps are cool, LS swaps are cool in 350s. I really don't care. I'm not a fan of the stock engine that comes in the Nissans, so this is great to me, because I don't hate the 350's looks. I think the 350 is a stout-looking car. I just don't like the motor. See, that's really cool. I really like that. The 600Z is a cool concept. He needs a badge on the back, though. Instead of the 350 badge, he needs a 600Z badge. That'd be kind of cool. Someone needs to put this guy up and hook him up with some cool like rear badges for the car. 86 Monte Carlo SS. So, like I said, this is r/project car, so you're definitely going to see cars that aren't finished. But yeah, it's a Monte Carlo. I don't really have anything negative to say. Yeah, it's looking like it's in rough shape right now, but it's a project car. That's the point. You're not going to see a ton of finished builds on here, but it's pretty cool. The old Monte Carlos, I'm not too familiar with too much. I think I'm more familiar with those than I am the early 2000s ones, minus the fact that they're just V6s and then they don't have an LS in them until you get like the later, like the pretty much the last couple of years that the Monte Carlo SS was around. Then those got the LS4, but pretty cool. I hope I would keep an eye on this one because I don't hate the old Monte Carlos. Um, these kind of cars aren't my like what I buy, but I have a soft spot for Monte Carlos, so I like this. I don't know. I wouldn't buy one, but I do appreciate them. So we'll have to see when this one comes up. Hopefully, we'll get to see it later on in the Reddit finished. So there's a video. It's a Buick named Brandy. Then it looks like it's been sitting a very long time. So good start. It's going to be it's going to be a long road for that car to get back going, but you know, props to this guy if he can get it running anytime soon and looking clean and all that junk. I love these. I love seeing these cars come from like nothing, like no grills, no lights or anything on them, and then give it about a year or two, and I think it'll be cleaned up and looking great. So I guess I'll have to keep an eye on that username to see if anything comes out of his car because I do like cars from the 40s. Ironically enough, I'm not too keen on 50s and 60s, but you show me a car from the 40s, I'm like, cool. I don't know why, but I am. Okay, so we got a CTSV with a Cayman and an IS300. So, fun fact, I'm not too crazy on the Porsche scene unless it's the 944, the 928, and the 959 for the classics, and the air-cooled 911, obviously, and the modern 911s. I'm not too crazy in any other ones. I'm like the Taycan's interesting. That's the new one. The Macan and Cayenne don't really interest me now that the Boxster and Cayman. They're there. Like they're sporty cars and they handle great, but they're not like a super-car like the 911 is. The 911's like the top dog. I don't even consider the 911 a supercar until you get to like the GT3s, the Turbo S's, and the GT2s. But yeah, so the Cayman's okay. I'm impartial to it pretty much. CTSV is awesome, of course. I love the CTSV. It's on my like bucket list of cars I'd love to own one day. IS300 was my dream first car. I was really hoping to get an IS300 for my first car, but we could never find because this was back before I could drive stick, and I could not find an automatic one that was a good deal, which is ironic because they find more autos than you do stick cars on the IS300. But we couldn't find one that was a good price and that was also lower mileage because. Ironically enough, my dad was not really wanting me in a high mileage car when we were looking, and I wound up with a 215,000 mile sports car. So funny story there. But yeah, IS300 is my dream first car. So I have a soft spot for the CTS and the IS300 here. So my friend Josh actually has a CTS4, which is a V6 all-wheel drive version of the CTS that's got cams and stuff in it. So hopefully we'll get to see that on the channel soon. It's apparently pretty rowdy. New father-son project, a Pinto wagon. Anytime I hear anything about the Ford Pinto, I just think of that scene from that one movie my parents told me about that they watched their drive-in when they were kids, where the Pinto runs in the back of an army thing and it explodes. I forget the name of the movie, but my parents talk about it all the time. It's a really funny scene. I always get a good laugh out of that because it's just ding, bam, But anytime I see a Pinto, that's pretty much what I think of. Finally rolled the project out. Time to blow it up. So this looks like an Oldsmobile. I'm not going to click that. Looks like some sort of Oldsmobile. I can't really see it though, so I can't. And plus, it's trying to take me out of here, so not about that. Old Is that an M6? Yeah, it is. So that's kind of cool. I actually like old BMWs. I'm not too crazy about BMW in general. It's like with the exception of the E92 M3 and the E60 M5, I'm not like super crazy over Beamers, but I do like these older ones. Like the E30 is a really cool car to me, and this one's I really like these old angular BMWs. These cars that just look slanted and all that stuff like this M6. So I'm a really big fan of that. So I would totally rock one. It's not like a top dog on my list, but it's something that's pretty cool. Again, Imgur. I really don't know what that website's pronounced. Okay, so a logo for a YouTube channel that has a Mark III in the background. There was someone on here that has a Mark III, so that's pretty cool. But Mark III stuff, I like Mark IIIs. Okay, so this is an '85 Mercure. I believe it's an XR4. It's a Le Mans. It's a Lemons racer, um, and then raced it. So the Michael's neighbor, Michael had a neighbor for a while. He just moved recently. Lived across the street. Had a 302 version, like a 302 swapped XR4. Looked just like that, but it was all black. Had a drag pack and stuff on it, power glide, all that stuff. It was a really cool car. At least I think it was a power glide. It may have been like a 4-speed or something like that, but it was a really cool car. Um, and that thing was rowdy. It was loud and it was a monster. Really nice guy too. So yeah, really cool story. I have a soft spot for the XR4 too because it's pretty much like it's a part of the Fox body chassis. It's with the Mustang and the Capri and other cars from that time period. Some videos here. Subaru Brat. My dad always called the Subaru Baja the Brat. I actually thought they were like a second gen Brat for the longest time until I grew up and saw they were called the Baja. So I was like, Dad, that's not a Brat, that's a Baja. But this is apparently the car that inspired the Baja. So pretty cool. I don't hate the Brat at all. It's a pretty interesting vehicle. Another '84, another Monte Carlo. So looks like it says it's ready for paint. I noticed there's not a door on it, and I got scared for a second. I was like, is that dog underneath the car, like getting ran over? No, it's not, obviously. But I was like, hold up. Working to save my Nova, having a tough time finding mechanics who want to work on an inline six. That's weird. Most mechanics, they don't like, minus the ones around here. I've gone to a couple that won't work on my motor, but um, I never really. That's kind of cool that the Nova came in a slant six too. Not a slant six like the Dart, but an inline six. But hopefully they can get that going soon. I do like the old Novas. Just drove them 20 minutes ago. It's a '05 Yukon XL 2500. Shoot, that thing's huge. I'm curious if it has the 8.1 or not because I was looking for an Avalanche 2500 when I was looking for a truck, and I only found one, and that has the 8.1 in it. But for whatever reason, when I was 15, as much as I don't like big trucks now, and that's why, like, when people ask me if I would ever trade up to like a bigger truck, like an F-150 or like an F-250 or something, I always say no. I don't like big trucks anymore. I drove the Ram 1500 a while back when my truck was down, and I wasn't too keen on like the size. So I probably would never own a bigger truck. I think really, like, I mean, if I had to get like an F-250 or something like that to tow, I would get it, but it wouldn't be something I drove on a daily basis. Um, so I think it's massive. I never actually knew there was a Yukon 2500. That's interesting, but the thing is freaking huge. So that's kind of cool. Quadra steer. That's that 4-wheel steering stuff that GMC did, I think, right? I don't know. You guys can correct me on that if I'm wrong. Ooh, okay. '97 Eclipse GS Spider. That's kind of cool. I love these. I love this generation of the Eclipse. I worked really hard to try to find one of these when I was getting my first car too. So I have a really soft spot for this generation of the Eclipse. It's a really cool car. I really like them. So '97 Spider. So I really wanted the GSX though. I wanted the 4G turbo and stuff like that. So I believe that's a 420A car. Either way, it's still pretty cool. After 8 years, almost 200,000 miles being my daily driver, the Danger Ranger is now officially retired to project truck status. That's the goal for mine eventually, too. I feel like eventually, once I'm able to get another daily driver, I will put my truck behind as a project car. Because it's getting there in miles. I mean, it's almost up to 240,000 miles. So, I mean, it's getting up there in miles. So eventually I'd like to retire it off and daily something else that I can trust a little bit more, I guess. Because my truck's, I don't know. I get sketched out sometimes driving it. It's not like I want to garage this forever kind of sketched out, but it's like I'm always worried something's gonna break because of the mileage. But so I'll get to that point eventually where I can do the same. 80 Corvette C3 383 stroker barn find. Okay, for a barn find, it looks in really good shape. Like just from this picture, I don't see like rust or any like faded paint or anything. So for a barn find, it's really good. The 383 stroker. My brother and I actually. My brother was able to carry a 3-speed transmission that was paired to a 383, but it wasn't at the time. When my grandparents moved, my uncle lived with them at the time, and he was building a 383 stroker for a Caprice, like a late '90s Caprice, I think, because he had a LS1 in it, but I think he was putting the 383 in it. My little brother carried the transmission that was for it down by himself. Like, I don't know if it was completely assembled, but he just grabbed that sucker and took off. I was like, hello, how are you doing that? But he did it somehow, and we wheelbarrowed the 383 down. Me and my brother, and I think my cousin, we all tag teamed picking up the 383 and putting it into a wheelbarrow and drove that down to get put on the truck. So that was kind of cool. But the C2 is my favorite classic vet. If I had to buy like an older vet, the C3 is kind of like in the middle of the road for me, but I still respect it. Okay, so here's the Buick from earlier. Just a picture of it. Sold this Ram. Looks kind of like Cason's old Ram that he drove. Okay, so we got a C4 and a Mark III. So if I had to pick one of these, I'd pick the Mark III because I love the Supra. But the C4 to me, I would put an LS in one if I got one because I really don't like the motors they came with. But it's okay. I wouldn't buy one personally unless I was really eager to get into a Corvette. But it's all right. .986 Boxster. That's a pretty nasty dent. And that's going to be expensive. It says $200 tools could he use. That sucks. Hopefully, we can get that fixed. Okay, old Toyota. I think that's a Land Cruiser. That's interesting. Hopefully, well, he says he's had the clear coat repaired on the hood, cowl, roof, and liftgate on this thing. So, looks pretty good. It looks like it's in good shape for a 26-year-old Land Cruiser. So, again, not a car you'd see me buy, but I can respect it. So, my wife and I told each other this was a winter beater. We both lied. So it's an old Jeep. I can't tell if it's the Cherokee or Grand Cherokee because they look pretty much the same. Again, I'm not too keen on Jeeps. I just tend to like more of like the street truck scene. So Jeeps really are out of the question for me. But I can respect a build when I see one. So, not my thing, but it's theirs. So that's cool. So we got what looks like a Miata motor. I can't tell if there's anything done to it. I see this intake pipe here, but I can't tell if it's like off to a turbo or a supercharger, or if that's just a stock intake pipe. Black valve cover though. Looks like he just only painted it. Pretty cool. It looks good. So we've got something. I don't know what that is actually. Again, I'm not too like well versed with classics, so I don't know what that is. But I've sat in a field for 20 years, finally got to bring her into the garage, so that's cool. Always good to start a new project. First look under the valve covers. I'm trying to see here. This is a push rod motor for sure, so it could be like a classic motor or an LS. Okay, it's a 75 Mustang 351C. Okay, so it's a 73 Mustang. So that's kind of cool. 351. We've got. It looks like it's okay. So it's a 2001 GTP. $800 car. So that's pretty cool. A little rescue project. There's a frame. I don't know what that goes to. I can't tell if the dashes. It looks like there's like some sort of like GC40 kit car behind us. Maybe that's what this goes to. Maybe, I don't know. Trying to getting a salvage cars project. I've thought about that. So we got an old American truck next to like this drink Coca-Cola. We have one of these in like downtown where I used to work for when I worked with Advance. There was like a mural like this very similar like right next door. So that's kind of cool. I love these murals. Uh-oh. Oil choke. So that's why I was running hot. That'll do it all right. So I think that's a Maverick too. I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure it's a Maverick. But it's sitting pretty in time. It looks good. I like the silver. Anyone running a Whipple on their V2? Oh my gosh, dude. CDSVs look so good. I wish I could get one. It's the only Cadillac I'd really consider buying is the V. 67 Pontiac GTO restoration. Just finished a 5-year build. Oh yeah, that's a pretty meticulous build. That's pretty cool. Let's fast forward a little bit. Yeah, look at that paint color. I'm a fan of the paint color. 7 weeks later, and the engine's upset. That looks like an old, like small block Chevy. I can't tell. We got a 77 C20. We had a lot of 80 C trucks when I was in school. I think there was one from this generation. There was a chassis cab truck. We got a Grand Wagoneer. Interesting. I actually do like a Grand Wagoneer. It's like the only Jeep I really was like too keen on. 72 Dodge Demon. This is a YouTube video. I don't know what this is exactly. I can't like tell from the pictures. Old rat rod. Okay. Not too familiar with rat rods either. A BRZ with a GTR exhaust. Interesting. 76 bug. So my dad, when I was a kid, had a Beetle's, a 75 Super Beetle. Similar stance to this. I think he had a 73 before that. I think that's the one that was actually lowered like this. It was so low he got speeding tickets. Yeah, it was so low he got tickets for it, and he missed a stop sign because he couldn't see it and T-boned a bus with it, which totaled his first one, and he got a 75. So I barely have any memories of the 75, but I have a soft spot for these bugs because of that. Okay, iRock Z. So my cousin, who has the 944, had one of these for a very short time. He kept it for like a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two, and didn't really want to like make it run, so he got rid of it. So iRock Z's are interesting. It's not my favorite generation of Camaro, but it's okay. It's a Celica GT, so that's kind of cool. Look, I don't mind the Celicas at all, like these older Celicas. Got a Neon RT. All right. After 6 months. Okay. It looks. I was like SRT4, but then I noticed the little crossbar that the SRT4s have a different one on the little wing back here. Okay. Z32 300Z. So I'm a fan of the 300s. Pretty much everything before like the 350, I'm like crazy about. I used to want a 300ZX pretty bad. My dad had a Z31, so we have had a 300 in the family. So it didn't look like this, obviously, but I do have a soft spot for the Z32. Jeep stuff. Again, maybe some of you guys will watch this video's interest, not mine. So that's kind of like what I say. Looks like we got another Maverick with a Bronco. No, that's an F100, maybe F150 with a bed cap makes it look like a Bronco, something like that. So pretty cool. We got a 63 Ford Country sedan wagon. Okay. A Miata inside a Volkswagen. That's interesting, actually. That's kind of fun. Like, fun looking. A Miata inside a Bug. I'd do that. Okay, we're going to look at one more. So we've got a old Chevy. After sitting about 223 years. Sheesh. I don't think that car's around for 223 years. None of us have been around for 200 years at least. For new brakes, radiator exhaust, anything else I might need. I can't put into words how happy seeing this car in the light of day makes me. Getting your project car running for the first time is always something that's really like special. I wish I could have had that experience. But my truck always ran, so it's not like really anything that's like really bad. But it's really cool to see. It's always a good feeling, I think. So really cool stuff. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed this little Reddit video. Again, I'm not going to do any more Reddit videos like this. If we ever come back to this subreddit, it will be on a live stream with Hayden and Michael, obviously, to like look over everything and see what we think. But yeah, I just thought I'd do this cool video just looking over the cars on r/projectcar and seeing anything like that interested my attention. I really like all these cars, really. Like I said, I'm not too crazy on like the Jeep stuff, but I can respect the build because it's obviously something that someone cares about. So while I wouldn't build them, it's something that someone else would do, and that's their appreciation of it. So all in all, pretty cool showing. I saw a lot of like really interesting builds, like this old Chevy. I can't really tell if it was a 57 or not. I always just call cars like 57 Chevys. And like the Miata and the Bug was probably one of my favorites. The Eclipse and the 300 probably two of my favorites. I'm sitting just calling back up, but I went pretty far down actually. But yeah, all these cars are really cool. So if you ever want to go check it out, the r/project car on Reddit. There's only 160K members there, so I think that I don't know for sure if that's like a small Reddit, but like subreddit, but I'd say go check it out if you want to see some cool builds on there. So anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed it. Be sure to go follow my Instagram 1low4.0 for behind the scenes content on the videos as well as pictures of my truck. I want to get more pictures soon. We're going to try to do a photo shoot sometime in the near future. I can't seem to keep the truck clean long enough to actually go shoot it. So anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one, everyone.